Hey, Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's Jean Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us for this special live stream here today. We're going to talk about, we have a crazy election here in the United States. There's a lot to talk about, but it's important to realize this is a worldwide thing. And so, what is unfolding in Brazil is not unlike what we've seen here. Of course, this has happened in other countries, but in Brazil, people are actually standing up. People are actually giving a damn. And we're going to talk about it in just a few minutes. We're waiting for a few people to jump on here. Welcome, everyone, in a live chat. I see Henry's here and Brenda and Joshua, Leslie. Welcome, everyone. Anna's here. Good to see you all. Thank you, YouTube, for distributing this. Put it out there. Dear algorithm. Let's be fair here. Welcome on Rumble. Welcome on YouTube. Let's not forget our mantra in the Inspired live streams is we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. This has been our mantra for years now, and this is important to remember. Everyone's jumping on. That's great. So without further ado, we're going to go into today's topic. As I said, the Brazil election, what's happened since, where we're at right now, and how things are moving forward, we shall see. And we have a very special guest joining us from Brazil today. This man is very, very famous in his home country, a attorney, a political expert, and he's a frequent guest on many TV and radio shows, and people are listening to what he has to say. Thank you so much for joining us today. Fernando Conrado, good to see
Hello,
you, my
Nolan.
friend.
Thank you, and thank you for all the people here on the show. I'm here to answer whatever you ask me.
Wonderful, thank you, Fernando. We talked about the elections a little bit here on the Inspired channel because it's important. It's important to really see what's happening. Over the last years, we have seen that the people are actually paying attention. They're looking closely, and you had a very, very contested election between the current president Bolsonaro and Lula, and of course a lot of controversy around it. It's not been even 2 weeks. There's an audit. There are mixed messages. What's happening in Brazil right now? What is the current status of the election results?
The current status here in Brazil is they have a lot of fight against it because the numbers came in the last 2 weeks ago. We had a different less than 2% of different between the two candidates. But the main points that all the campaign we had in Brazil was controlled and censorship by the justice here in Brazil. So this is one problem we can talk after. Yeah, right now in Brazil, all this number people fought against them, and right now the army is send all their reports on how the things worked here. And what they discover is that our system we have here is the electronic one. Yeah, you just vote on a machine, and we have the same machine since we were 1996 here, so they are very old. If you have an iPhone like this, you'll be fighting to have a mobile phone from the 90s, you see. So now this report came to the public. We saw that the army said we had some flaws on this system. And today, the army sent a letter to the nation saying that because since we got these numbers, all the people went out everywhere in Brazil. People who support people that doesn't want to be ruled by a thief, because our ex-president that now won the election, this guy was in jail, and the justice took him out of the jail to be part of the election. So seems like crazy what you hear here, but is that the situation here? So now everybody is on the streets. We have people very peacefully, very in order to get the questions being answered by the public service, by the state, by the government. So now you see everybody on the streets all over Brazil. I live in the south, in the border with the main city, the capital of Rio Grande do Sul. That is the southest state in Brazil. We are in the border with Uruguay and Argentina. And here, everybody went in the first days to the headquarters of the army, asking for answer. But now they are going even to the justice buildings, and now they are going main to Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, because there we have our Congress, and it's the Congress that must answer us what is happening here and try to fight for our rights. Yeah.
Fernando, is the main problem that people have with this election that a criminal was running, or is it that they are questioning whether the results are true and fair, or whether there was potential fraud or mistakes made in the election? What's the main problem people are having with this election?
Both of it together, because to have an idea, I am a lawyer, I'm a social scientist with the graduations from the university, anthropology, sociology, politics, foreign affairs. I work for television here, and my channel on YouTube is under censorship, you see? But just in Brazil, the platform is okay with my content, you see? But the justice, they have this kind of agreement with all the Meta, with all the Google team that can rule our internet here. So to have access to my content in Brazil, the people need to do the same thing we must do in China, the same thing we must do in Cuba, that's going through a VPN to get access to everything, you know? So now what we have the censorship that start as a cooling effect for everybody, nobody. So all the people who used to come to the social media to talk and to defend the government, they have this fear, you see, to be banned. So they don't talk anymore. And now we have the situation with the numbers, with the possible allegedly frauds we have. Because, man, to have an idea, we have hundreds of ballots that have 100% of the votes for Lula. Yeah. So
yeah, we heard there were certain machines that put out only Lula votes, not a single Bolsonaro vote, and that's unlikely in any election in any country. It's very unlikely.
and the other thing is that same people, same city, neighborhood, you see, same school, people come to vote. In the machines, the brand new machines from 2020 on, you have one result. If you have the models before 2020, you have another numbers of vote. So same city, same school, same neighborhood, people voting, and you have different votes depending of the kind of the model of the machine you are voting. You see? And this should be the same. You have this difference of votes all over Brazil. All over Brazil.
So if you can make an assessment, if you would guess, is the military objective in this? Is the military objective enough to run this audit properly, or are there fears that the military might be under somebody's influence?
No. The point is, the military, they are not from the government, you see? They didn't do an audit. This is just they call here fiscalization, you see? Okay. They couldn't check the machines. You know, man, everything that I'm saying to you happened in August when the army went to see the machine, and the system, you could not check the system activated, you know? So you could not check what is really happening. To have an idea, you cannot the army could not check the version of the machines. You see?
That's crazy.
Because like man, look, in the iPhone, you have here iOS 15, iOS 16, you know? They couldn't check what version they were checking, and they were not able to confirm that that same version would be inside the machines. Is this kind of craziness we are living here, you know? So what the army came to the public saying, look, these voting machines, they are vulnerable, and they just have this check on the voting machine, not in the electoral system, not in the transport of the votes, you see, just in the machine. And they say, okay, here we have some vulnerabilities. And when it came to the public, it was a very technical stuff. People didn't understand. So our justice, because here in Brazil, the guys who take care of the elections are the justice, okay? Same guys. So they said, okay, you saw the reports from the army, and they said, is everything okay with our election? Next day, the army came, oh, no, we didn't say that. We just said that we could not check, and everything that we have there is a problem. So the justice came over, you know, like as if we were playing poker. They were three betting, you know, say, no, be cool, everything's fine. So they start fining people who were, because everybody came to the streets, yeah? So if you block any street, you should pay around $20,000 per hour as a fine. Man, it's 100,000 reais, our money, yeah, per hour. So if they see any company around blocking, a huge fine that nobody can pay. You see, so if you cannot pay, you lose your freedom. So this is the system that we are living here in Brazil. And now on, so this morning, the army came to the public, say, look, you can go to the because the justice was saying to people that if you go outside, you are a criminal. You go to jail. This is an anti-democratic assault. They said this for people going around, man, with the flag of Brazil, like this. If you go outside with a flag of Brazil like this, you are committing a crime.
Are you kidding?
Here.
Are you kidding?
No. You have no... Man, you have no idea what were our campaign here in Brazil. The electoral campaign, some judges said that if you use the flag of your country, you are a criminal, because people who use the flag of the country supports Bolsonaro, doesn't support Lula. Man, the left side, Lula's side, yeah, the Works Party, they always, man, sorry for the bad words, they shit on the flag, literally, on the streets. You know, they dance over the flag. So we took the flag from the ground, from the garbage, we wash it, and we use it as a symbol. So every manifest, every people outside the streets, if you see, they will be wearing this flag, you know, with the yellow shirt or a green shirt, a symbol of our country. And some judge says this is a crime. You cannot use. Man, when it's very easy to check something on internet. When Bolsonaro takes his motorcycle in the weekend to go around everywhere, yeah, people start coming with him, yeah, and like 1 million people. So if you go to internet and check on Google, yeah, like motociata, I write here, I show you the, maybe you can see from the, let me put something here just to have an idea what kind of things we have here in Brazil. Images, 1 second, man. Let me check if you can see this. Look, this is on Google. Okay, look.
Yes, this looks like everywhere Trump shows up in America. It's pretty much the
Man,
same. Yeah.
until the end, a million of people. And this guy here is Bolsonaro in the middle of the crowd. You know, he's a simple man. People doesn't as a lot of people doesn't like him here because he says the things very straightforward. You see,
Yeah.
so some of the rich people, he's very bronco. You know, he's very macho. This is not good. But the real people knows what he's saying. You know, so as it was the situation we got from all over the 4 years here, all the system as you had in United States, we got here because when the establishment lost this upper, because Bolsonaro was an outsider, yeah, he was the third way to come to the power, because here we get always to.
We can relate, Fernando. We can relate. It's the same system.
Yeah, you see, but here is different because in United States you have Republicans and Democrats, yeah. So you have the two sides of the thing. Here we never had something from the right side. Was just like the Democrats, Social Democrats against the Works Party, yeah, and they were just changing in the power in the. We call this in politics a theater of the Caesars, you know. They are just changing power of the same side of the thing. So Bolsonaro was the first guy who came to the other side. And here, when this guy came to the power, we had some situations we never had in our lives. When this guy came to the power, he said, the state, the government will give a step back for you, citizens, give a step further. You know, so from the very beginning, we have he started to cutting taxes all over Brazil. And by the way, when this guy start cutting taxes, some of them to 0, some of them to 50%, people stop evading money. People start paying more the taxes, you know. So in Brazil, we had this in economics we call this curve of Laffer, you know, the ideal point where you can charge people taxes and people don't stop paying. You see.
Yes.
We got this. We got less taxes. Imagine less taxes in Brazil and more money. People more money. So with this, the money we got, we could pay minimum wage for people who suffered during the pandemics. You see, we got all the possibility to give credit to small businessmen. So man, Brazil changed in the last 4 years. And that's why people are outside fighting, because they suffer in their lives this change. They know, man, look, when the Works Party, they were like for 20 years in the power. When they left, yeah, from the impeachment of one of the president we had here, we got a law saying that we could not break a limit of expenses, public expenses, yeah? This law was made to refrain the Works Party politics, okay? During all the campaign, the Works Party never said the name of the Minister of Economics, or they didn't send even a program what they would do for the next year. They didn't show during the campaign. The only thing they said was, we will break this refrain of public expenses. What they did in the first week, they broke. So yesterday, during all the stock exchange in the world was getting up for 5, 4, 6%. In Brazil, we dropped 5,000 points in one day. Dollar escalated to the maximum high we had during the first week of the pandemics in just 1 week, you know? So everything is broken. When Bolsonaro came to the power, this guy invited technical people to work in all areas. A physician for the wealth, for the health, astronaut to the science, you see, economist to the finances, and everything was good. When the Works Party didn't came to the power yet, and they already put like a, man, I cannot use the name here because if I use the name here, we will stop our
We'll get banned, right?
broadcasting, you know? Yeah. But man, you have no idea. A guy who was the leader of the invasions of private property, now he is the chief of the minister who take care of private property.
I
Just to
heard.
have an
I
idea.
heard that. Yeah,
You know?
it's ludicrous. Fernando, I need to ask you two things. Did President Bolsonaro concede the election? Did he come out and said, "I lost, Lula won,
No.
congratulations"?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
So
no.
we had in mainstream media, we had weird reports about that. My second question: what is the legal path if the election is contested, officially contested? If Bolsonaro comes out and says, "I object the results," what is the legal path?
No. The point is, Bolsonaro didn't. He's in silent.
So we hear. Yeah.
He's in silence. So people are doing it. Man, the civils, the civilians, we are doing the thing. You see,
That's
the
how
point
it needs
is
to be. Yeah.
okay. So look the problem we have now in Brazil. Man, this is the constitution. Okay, this is our constitution. Okay, everything is written here. Okay, but look the situation we have. Elections, all the rule, all the rights, all the law on elections, they should be changed maximum 1 year before. Okay, you cannot change the law before
Yes.
before 1 year. You see,
you can't change it a week before the election. Yeah.
Okay. So the Congress should say all the rules. After that, the justice will take care of the elections. So the justice will determine the hour we start voting, what kind of machines will vote, and blah, 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 and so on. Okay? The point is, the justice start creating laws that they could not create, because justice cannot create laws, they just judge. And we have this possibility of creating all these where we will vote and by the time we will vote until March. But they created laws as illegally, okay, until the day of the election. Everything was illegally. And we don't have a situation for this here. You see?
It's exactly the same in the United States. This was the problem, that only state legislators can actually change election laws. And it was, again, the judges, it was state attorneys, it was governors. So you're saying, basically what you're saying, it's the same problem everywhere. So do you think there is a common force? There is a global force that are creating the same problems in every country?
Man, the biggest problem for me is the modernity. Yeah, this kind of time we are living, where all the men and women, of course, the human beings, we are split in small groups to make us weak. You see, so nobody knows what to do. They don't have this self-esteem to fight back. Like I am the protagonist of my life. I will change the things. This is not a series for HBO. This is not a series for Netflix. This is my life. And we don't know the future, We just know the future is that all our happiness depends on our courage. But it doesn't mean that if you are courage, we'll be happy, The success, making money, depends on your effort. But it doesn't mean that you do all effort and you have this money and this success. People think that the future will be better by magic, So people doesn't. So this situation we have now in Brazil, we have now in Europe, we have now in the United States, is something that were created by the ones who wants to have more easiness on the government, on the state. As an example, yeah, the biggest the state, the more chance of corruption. You see, more chance of corruption. The biggest the state, more chance for big corporations. Okay, have how can I say, have chance to have more benefits from the state.
Of course, it's fascism.
Corrupt.
It's fascism.
Man, so see, that's why you see a lot of corporations fighting for
big government
side of the politics who supports big governments, you know, to have the monopoly of everything. Because when you have, man, in Brazil we got Bolsonaro, we had just in Brazil 6 banks. Now we have 2,000 banks, you know. Just six companies used to do all the labors of the government, like bridges and pavements, blah, blah. Now you have hundreds of them. So that's why this system that doesn't want to lose money, you know, that doesn't want to lose power, the establishment. In this is what I have all over the world, you know. So I don't know even where we can run away from Brazil to what country, because everywhere is the same. If I left here to go to United States, it would be the same.
No, there's nowhere, and this is the message. I think we can run. We have to fix it. We the people, we have to take charge, like you say. We have to step up. We have to be courageous. We have to be in charge of our own lives and our own destiny. That's what freedom is about. So this is what we have to do. So what do you see? What do you think will happen in Brazil over the next days and weeks? What do you think will happen?
I don't know, but everything can happen, you know. That's the magic of living in Brazil, you know. If you see something, man, every time I see something on the news, for me is 1st of April, you know, Fool's Day. I check everything. Everything I check. Yeah. In the other side, in the other hand, everything can be real. I don't know how can I translate things here.
No, we understand. We live in the same world here. We understand.
You see, I know. So, man, nowadays in Brazil, because this is the big chance, you see, the army, because army in our system is kind of the same system. The legal system in Brazil is kind of the same as United States, but we use one based on written laws, and you use a system based in the decisions. Okay,
in common law,
yeah, the common law. Now the army send a letter saying respect what's strictly written in the Constitution. Don't do anything, because what you have now is that people trying to say new words that's written here. See, trying to change, you know, in linguistics, using a new word for something that's written. This is something that we must understand. Our language is like if you change the language, you do like a magic trick. You know. So we must say everything very straightforward, you know. As I'm very sure that now we cannot say 100% the things on the internet or on social media, but this is the most important thing, because all this fight against language, against gender, against social class is to corrupt yourself, you know. Together we stand, divided we fall. You know, we don't have the feeling of belonging anymore. So when you go to the streets, you see people with the flags of your country using the same words you are using, you know. When you see the families outside, because, hey, man, you see the families outside. Is the grandpa, the grandma, the kids, everybody outside. People who pay taxes, people who are who is the father of the family, you know, fighting for a better country. And this is uniting us. This is the main point. That's why I said you that the modernity, this kind of time we live today that broke with everything inside us, they doesn't want you to be as strong as possible, yeah, with this determination of changing your life, because when you change your life, you change the world. Some people are the young people, yeah, most of them, they are a lot of leftists, because they have this wishful thinking of a better world, yeah. But when you grow up, when you pay taxes, when you raise a family, you just want to change your small life. But when you change your small life, you are changing the world itself. Some people
Exactly.
hear this, think this is bullshit, but no, this is the tradition. We lost the tradition. This is the main point of the Western world. We lost the tradition. We lost the rituals, you know? That's why, man, first problem we have, secularization. People doesn't because, man, in the past you used to pray for God, for any deity, you see, and you wait for the magic to happen. Okay, now you don't have gods anymore, you don't have deities anymore, so you are alone, you suffer more. The point of nowadays, you suffer more, and when you suffer, they give you medicines, you know. Nowadays, man, people fight with they broke a relationship with a girlfriend, they take medicines.
Yes, yes, I
They don't
know.
cry anymore. They don't, okay, I'll be a better man. They have to conquer her heart. No, they take medicines, you know. We have a lot of people that they doesn't suffer anymore because everything is very easy. Man, in the past, how old are you, John?
Well, I forgot, but I remember that past. I
Okay,
remember
okay,
that
man,
past.
the
I
mobile
remember a
phones,
time before iPhone.
you use to dial everything, you know. Now
I
you have,
know. I
man,
know.
you
I
don't have a
remember.
button. But look the craziness of this. You are so used to flawless, you know, flawless things, that now you want people to be flawless. You don't
You're
want people to have
so
hair
right.
on the body. You know, people cannot wait for something to happen. Something that was a luxury in the past now is a necessity. This is
You're
the,
so right.
man, philosophically, this is the main point. We are not ready to suffer anymore. That's why everything hurts more, you know. Man, people kill themselves. Man, in United States, suicide is the second cause of death for young people from 15 to 24 years old. Kill themselves.
It is
Human being,
unbelievable what is happening. It is, and you
man.
are absolutely right. We and the phenomenon is not Brazilian. It's not American.
No,
It's everywhere.
man,
It's
man, it's
everywhere.
everywhere. If you live in a small island in the Caribbean, if you live in the mountains in Colorado, you suffer the same. You suffer the same. We are all under the modernity. We have to open our eyes. Why they're changing us? Why they want you to not be okay with yourself? Why they want you to be more individually, more, yeah, individualism bigger and bigger and bigger, so you don't have bounds, you don't have connection with people, you suffer. That's why the rituals, doesn't matter the religion you practice, yeah, but you have the religion was important to have rituals, you know, like Easter, you know, like Christmas, you know, or like the Pesach, or like the day of the forgiveness of we have rituals, and you have, when you are on a ritual, you live in community. You know, we don't have community anymore. We have just associations. When you meet somebody, you ask, "What this guy do? How much money does he make?" You know, you don't ask what kind of color he likes, if he's fair or not. You know, this is the main point of nowadays. You don't have this feeling of community. For grace of God, I live in the South, and here we have a lot of this feeling, you know.
Same
I
here.
think,
Same here.
you know, so man, when you have this feeling, life is better. That's why you see people killing themselves 10 times more in big cities, you know. Big cities is very okay. When you go to New York, food for everywhere, you can have sex with whoever you want that you just met on the train station. You have sex in the night, you don't see the next day. That's good. That's good in the first day. The second day, you don't have more bounds. Yeah, in the old times, you used to talk with a girl, invite her to have a dinner, then start kissing. Nah? Now you have sex with girls, and the next day you go to Starbucks just to ask for them the name of the girl to put on the cup because you don't remember the name. You see, that's the things you are living. That's
You are so right.
We are upside down. The world is upside down. Totally upside down. That's why it's important for us to recreate this feeling of belonging, this feeling of community, this feeling of tradition. That's why I have here my constitution, I have here my cross, because, man, this is the feeling we have to keep every day. Every time I see the constitution, I know that I must serve the law. Every time I see the cross, I know that I must serve God. This remember me every day, the things. This is my main point.
It's a beautiful main point. And Fernando, what is so beautiful to hear and to see is that our nations seem to be of different cultures in many ways, but truly we're very similar, and the people feel very similarly. And likewise, what we've seen here before 2020, between 2016, 2017, and 2020, was also a return of certain things that people valued. And like you said, it appears that President Bolsonaro is much like President Trump, a symbol for something that people are craving. They're not saviors. They are not the holy grail. They are symbols. Now, moving forward, and I know you can't make a prediction, but do you see a path? Do you currently see a path where your election predicament that you're in, do you think it still can be changed? Or is there a legal possibility for this even to happen?
Yeah, because, man, in our constitution, we have a solution, but the solution is the last solution, okay? Like, how can I explain this? Because people can maybe, in our history here, we had during a long time, militaries that were in the power. When they ceased to be in the power, the people wrote this constitution. So to not have any fight between the powers of the nation, legislative, executive, and the justice, we can call the army, to put things together as written in the constitution. We had here, look how crazy it is. The justice is not respecting the constitution. So imagine the kind of situation we have nowadays. Today in the letter, that army said, look, you are coming to the headquarters of the army to ask for solutions, but we are not the guys who will provide the solution. We just can provide the solution after all the political actors, all the social players do their part, So you should go to the Congress and call your congressman to say the things you want. So now people are leaving the all small towns in Brazil. We have 200 million people, and they are going to the capital, So the army said, after you do all the things you want to, then you call us. And they said, but all the censorship happening, this is not written in the constitution. All this determination of putting people in jail or treating like criminals is not written in the constitution. So ask the Congress to do you people ask the Congress to do whatever you should do, and we will back up. This is written in the letter this morning. So when you ask me what can happen, everything can happen, We have this chance. This is a small chance, but we have this. I hope we don't need the solution from the army,
I understand.
We are
So what you're saying is, if the people exhaust all their options and the corruption is so deep that nothing happens, then the last option is martial law, basically the military taking over and which nobody wants in any country. Nobody wants that. That's that's like the worst of the worst. But if necessary, that is an option. We understand. What is it that we here in the United States and across the world can do to support our Brazilian brothers and sisters?
Man, the main point, as I told you, all the establishment here in Brazil, they are not talking about people on the streets. So everything I ask you is, whenever, man, spread the word, okay? Like you are doing is like perfect. Just say this, bring this. Every time you see a picture from Brazil, every time I see, now you see the picture of people on the streets in Brazil fighting for our constitution, fighting for our freedom. Spread the word. Send to the big newspapers, send to the big companies on the news, because when you abroad talk about the censorship we are suffering here, then our TV shows in Brazil, we start to talk about it. We have like 5 major companies in Brazil on TV. I work in one of them, live broadcast and nationwide. But the other one is talking about, and 5 silent, like everything is right. And here and that you have some anti-democratic riots in Brazil, but they're not riots. It's grandpa, grandma, father, children outside with the flag of Brazil, you see? So we spread the word. Everything you heard here is the truth. Just check for the more information on that and spread the word. This is the main point that I could ask you, John.
Yes, sir, and we will absolutely do that and help you. Fernando, thank you so much for taking the time today. Where can people find you on social media? If they're in Brazil, of course, speak Portuguese, that helps. But where can people find you online and on social media?
On YouTube, at Fernando Conrado. On Instagram, at Fernando Conrado. Twitter, at Fernando Conrado. And I think if you go to all these places, if you can write after my name as anywhere, if you go there, you see all my content and what is happening in Brazil, so you can share in United States, in Europe, in Africa, Asia, in everywhere.
Wonderful. We will do that. Please, everyone, check him out. This man speaks obviously truth on so many levels, knows what he's talking about. Fernando, we would like to have you back on. This is an open invitation. Please come back
whenever you want. Whenever you want, can call me whenever you want.
We would love to have you back. There's more to talk about, and from us here in the United States, we're wishing your brothers and sisters much strength and power, much love. We're in full support because it seems like you all are fighting for the truth. And that is what we support every single day of the week. Truth and freedom. My friend, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And it was a pleasure and an honor. Just call me whenever you want. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Inspired Tribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share this interview. Spread it everywhere. Share it with everyone so you hear a voice of truth from Brazil. Boots on the ground. Great things are still happening. We'll be with you again very, very soon. Until then, have an inspired rest of your day.